Hello everyone, in today's video I'll show you how to crochet this granny square tote bag, which is super easy because it only takes up 3 squares and a handle. You can also make more rows if you want your bag to be bigger or less if you want for it to be smaller, but I did 6 rounds and I used about 50 grams for 2 each colors. If you are making a bit bigger or smaller, you might end up using different amount, but yeah, without further ado, let's get into the video. And to make this bag, you will need 2 colors. I've got acrylic double knit yarn, and to make it chunkier, I will be using 2 strands at a time. So you can either do the same thing or just use chunky yarn. Then you will need 6mm hook, needle, and scissors. And we will begin by making a granny square. So to start, you want to make a magic circle, which you can do by wrapping your yarn around 2 fingers, making necks like this. Then put your hook behind the first and grab the second one. And this is how it will look. Then you want to chain 3. And this acts as your first double crochet, and then do 2 double crochets inside. So yarn over, go into the ring, pull up a loop and come back, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, and that's your double crochet. Repeat this one more time. And you will have 3 double crochets together with that chain. Then chain 2 and do 3 double crochets inside. Then chain 2 and repeat 3 doubles, chain 2 2 more times. And this is how it will look. You will have 4 clusters of those 3 double crochets with a chain 2 in between. You want to find your tail left and pull your ring tight. Then find your 3rd chain and do a slip stitch. Just like this. And then chain 1 to finish off, and you can now cut your color because we will change to second one. Then pull through and grab your next color. You want to join it in any of those chain 2 spaces. So I'm just gonna go into this one, grab my yarn and chain 1 to secure, and chain another 2 as your first double crochet. Then do 2 double crochets inside of that chain 2 space. Chain 2 and do 3 double crochets in that chain 2 space. Now into the next chain 2 space, do 3 double crochets, chain 2, 3 double crochets. And in next 2 spaces you will do the same exact thing, so 3 double crochets, chain 2, 3 double crochets, and repeat this 2 times. And when you come all around, you want to find your third chain and do a slip stitch. Then chain 1 and finish off. For your next round, again, grab your corner, put your hook in and change color. Just pull it through and straight away chain 3. Do 2 double crochets inside. And that is 3 with the chain, then chain 2 and do 3 more double crochets inside. In the next space here, do 3 double crochets. And this is what you will need to repeat 3 more times. So these 2, so your corner and cluster of 3, 1, 2 and 3 times. So just to show you one more time, in the next chain 2 space, 3 double crochets, then chain 2 and 3 more double crochets inside. And into the next one, just 3 double crochets. And repeat these 2 another 2 times, and I will meet you at the end. And when you come all around, you will need to find your third chain and do a slip stitch. Grab your next color and insert it in any chain 2 spaces. Chain 3, do 2 double crochets inside, chain 2 and 3 double crochets inside. In the next 2 spaces, 3 double crochets in each. And this is what you will need to repeat 3 times. So just to show you one more time, in the corner is going to be 3 double crochets, chain 2, 3 double crochets, and in the next 2 spaces, 3 double crochets. So in the next chain 2 space, do 3 double crochets, chain 2, and another 3 double crochets, into the next 2 spaces, 3 double crochets in each, and this is how it will look. Now you will need to repeat this 2 more times, so I'm gonna finish mine and I will meet you at the end. And when you come all around, find your third chain, put your hook in, and do a slip stitch. Chain 1 and cut your yarn off. This is how it will look after 4 rounds, and now you will basically need to repeat those rounds until you're happy with your granny size. I will do 6 rounds in total, but I'm gonna stop showing here because it's pretty much the same thing. In those chain 2 spaces, so your corners, you will do 3 double crochets, chain 2, 3 double crochets. For all the spaces in between your corners, you only will be doing 3 double crochets and then repeating the same thing 3 more times and then slip stitch it into the 3rd chain. So do as many rounds as you want, and I will show you what to do next. And like I said, I did 6 rounds in total. This is how it looks like, and now you will need to hide all the tails in. I have one left, which I will show you how to hide. So you want to grab your needle, pull your tails through, and going into a couple of the stitches one way, making sure that it's pulled tight so the ring doesn't open, then back the other way. And after doing it into a couple of stitches, you can then cut that off and repeat with all of your tails. If you are doing this in solid color, then you only will have 2 tails to hide, the initial one and the one that you end your row with. And now you will need to make another 2 granny squares in as many rounds as you want. So I did 6, but you can do 7 or 8. Just make 3 exact same granny squares. And once you've got all 3 granny squares, you will now need to fold them in half, just like so, and we will need to join it along those sides. So you can start off by grabbing 2, fold them right sides in so that you have wrong sides facing outside, and grab your color which you finished your last row with. And I'm only using 1 strand this time, so there is no need to double it. Find your 2 chains and put your hook into the one closer to this side. Do the same on the other one, and I'm only going through the back loops only, so the loops that are facing outside. You should be able to see the V here, so I'm only going into this one and this one here, so always the outside ones. Grab your yarn, pull it through, and chain 1 to secure. Go into the back loop on 1, into the back loop of your second one, pull up a loop and do a slip stitch, then into the next one, into the next one, and just like so, keep doing those slip stitches, making sure that you are aligning the stitches. And if it helps, if you look from the up, you should see those V's. So the loops I'm going in are only this one, so the back one, and then this one, leaving the inside ones unjoined. I'm just gonna pick up my yarn and do my slip stitches along the side. And when you come to the corner, you will need to do 2 slip stitches into those 2 chains, making sure they are aligned. And then repeat the same thing on the other side. So you are only joining along 2 sides. So complete the slip stitches back loop only along your next side. And when you come to the 2 chains, only do 1 slip stitch in one and first chain, because you will be leaving the next one. And that's the side joined. Then chain 1 and finish off. Okay, your yarn leaving a bit of a tail. Tighten it up, and this is how it will look. So if you pull it inside out and then fold it like this, this is how it will look. Now you want to grab your next granny square, see what sides you need to join it with, put them right sides in, and repeat the same exact thing on this side. So it's going to be exactly the same, just make sure that you are joining with the correct sides. So I'm going to finish joining these 2, and I will meet you for the handles. And once you're done, if you pull it to the right side out, I'm going to show you how to do the handles. So you want to grab from either of the sides of this corner here, and you want to put your hook into this space next to the corner. Put your hook in, grab your yarn, which is doubled for me, but if you're using chunky, then it's just 1 strand, and you then want to chain 3. Do 2 trebles inside of this space, so yarn over twice, go into that same space, pull up a loop, you will have 1, 2, 3, and 4, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, and yarn over, pull through 2. One more time into that same space, and this is how it will look. Now into this chain 2 space, do 3 double crochets, and into the next one, 3 treble crochets. Once that's done, you then want to chain 3, turn your work, and you will have 9 stitches across, so you want to work 9 double crochets. So I'm going to do another one into that same space, then into the next one, and so on till the end of this row, where your last double crochet will be into the 3rd chain. So I'm just gonna finish till I come to that chain, and you can see that the chain is there, so you want to work a double crochet into that 3rd chain as well. Chain 3, then turn your work, and you will need to repeat this row of double crochets as many times as you want for your one handle. So you should only be making rows up until you're happy with half of the length, because we will repeat the same for the second one as well. And I just did my second row of double crochets. I'm at the end of the row, and as you can see I still have the chain left here, but I'm not gonna do a double crochet into this. I'm just skipping it, because when I do a chain of 3, then turn my work, I do another double crochet in here. So instead of making stitch above my chain, I'm just doing it for the double. If you are to make 2 double crochets for your next round in these 2, then your row will increase. So you can either just count your chain as a double crochet and do a stitch into it, or do another double and skip it. I hope this makes sense, but yeah, continue making the rows until you're happy how long it is. And I did total of 6 rows for the handle, so the first row here and then 5 rows of double crochets. This is where I will finish off, so I'm chaining 1, cutting my yarn off, and then you can obviously have as many rows as you want for your handle to be, but mine is gonna be about this long, because I'm now gonna do the second one and it's gonna be exactly the same. So you want to join your yarn into the space, repeat 3 trebles, 3 doubles, 3 trebles, and then repeat double crochet rows the same amount of times as you did for the first one, and then do not finish off, as we will be joining them together. And once you finished your second handle, you'll want to grab them both, put them right sides in, and we will join it using those back loop slip stitches like we did for the granny squares. So as always, going into the outside loops, which are the back ones, go in and do a slip stitches across those 9 double crochets. And once that's done, chain 1 to secure, cut your yarn off, and we will now need to hide this tail in, as well as any other tails that you might have left. So I'm just gonna put that into my needle, and on the wrong side of your work, just go into the stitches. You can then also go row below and go into opposite direction just to make sure that tail is secure. Then you can cut off your tail, and this is how it will look all joined together. This is how my handle looks like after doing those 6 rows for both of them. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to hit subscribe, like this video, and I'll see you in my next one.